What is up, Blues? Welcome back to my channel. And it's been a long time since I've done a podcast. And I have a very special guest, Evan. Welcome to my channel. How you doing, bro?
Doing good. Thanks, Aaron, for inviting me. I'm very excited to talk about Chelsea and just, yeah, everything that's going around the club and Thomas Tuchel.
That's very dope. I mean, I've been trying to, get more like American Chelsea fans, involved with my channel because I live in America too. It's a
Yeah.
little bit hard, because a lot of fans are in Europe. Well, yeah, bro, let's get into the topics. For the first topic, bro, we got Chelsea Newcastle, as you saw. I mean, yesterday, we beat them 2-0. And what was your take on it, bro?
Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing Timo Werner play. I think every Chelsea fan was happy with that performance. He created the chance for Giroud's goal, and he got himself one later on in the game. He was just effective, just like his most recent games. He was effective, but didn't score goals. Until this game, he finally got one after not scoring. I think it's 100 days. I think he last scored in November or something. But yeah, great performance from the team. I don't think Newcastle threatened us that much. Kepa got a clean sheet. That's good for his confidence. But I think Thomas Tuchel came out saying Mendy's still the number one, right?
Yeah. So I think the reason that Kepa played was like probably the board kind of forced Tuchel because I think, they were trying to hold his value up and they're just trying to,
Mm.
cover their loss because of, their mistakes and they're trying to force it on Tuchel. So it's like a bit of an L, on the board side. But I mean, if he kept the clean sheet, I guess it's okay then.
Yeah, I definitely can see sort of like Marina Granovskaya's influence on that because
Yeah.
she's the one that sort of pushed for that Kepa deal and she wants to see that investment, make a good, better return than what we're seeing currently. But it's really up to Thomas Tuchel still. And came out saying Mendy's still number one. So,
Yeah, I guess, I mean, to be fair, he said like he wants to give everyone a new chance when he came in. And I guess he gave a new chance to Kepa. And Kepa, he's been performing well. He had like two or three good saves, like one or two against Newcastle, and then he had like another good save against Barnsley. So I guess based on form, I guess he deserves to play. But I don't know. Kepa hasn't done. I mean, Mendy hasn't done anything wrong, so I don't know.
that's also true. Yeah.
Uh, the other player I want to mention, you said Timo Werner. He's been improved a lot, like in this, like especially Tuchel came in. Like he's been getting to a lot of goal scoring situations, but his finishing touch hasn't been there. What do you think like has improved his overall confidence? Is it like a tactical, or he's been just like it's his mindset? He's been keep grinding to get there.
Yeah, I think if we compare him under Lampard and him under Tuchel, he's been more involved in the gameplay with Thomas Tuchel. You can see him coming more deep to receive the ball, get a touch here and there. Although I think he still needs to improve his first touch, because sometimes I think he is a little
Yeah,
clumsy.
it's so basic.
Yeah, and I think sometimes one bad touch, he loses the ball, and that's the whole attack right there, right? But yeah, I think definitely he's been just more involved in general under Thomas Tuchel's system. He's playing as a left striker in a pair. I think that's worked out much better for him. Just like we saw him at Leipzig with, I think he had Schick or Poulsen next to him in a two-man striker formation. So I think, yeah, he can still improve, but he's already improved a lot.
Yeah, he's been roaming a lot in that left channel. Like Alonso was going like into the box, and he was kind of playing as like a left winger slash like left mid. Sometimes, like I don't know, it was weird. I feel like he should be in the box, but I guess I don't know. That's Alonso. He wants to get some goals. We can't blame
Yeah.
him. Yeah. From yesterday's game, what else? Mason Mount. What are your thoughts on him, Mason Mount?
Yesterday or just in general?
Yesterday.
Yes. Uh, I think yesterday he didn't have such a great game, but that's okay. I mean, he's been brilliant this season. I think I would say he's probably been our player of the season so far. Yesterday was just a bit of an off day. He had a chance in the first half. He could have laid it off to Timo Werner. I don't know if you saw that chance,
Yeah.
but yeah, he I think he just missed. He didn't even get it on target, but not his best game. But I mean, he's been the most consistent. He plays pretty much every match.
Yeah.
Um,
He's kind of like an undroppable like player right now. I mean, he's off the ball movement and off the ball work rate is impeccable. Like and the link up play that he has with Hudson Odoi and other players, especially like Kovacic
Definitely.
and Tammy, unfortunately got injured. He just
Mhm.
links up the play very well, and he just opens a lot of space for the other attackers, to get involved in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I guess pivoting on, because he plays that sort of cam position right behind the two. I think that's where Havertz should also play, and that sort of cuts into both of their game times, right? There's a lot of competition, and we still have Ziyech and Pulisic who didn't play yesterday, right? So there's a lot of there's just I guess a lot of players in too few spots to fill.
Yeah. Do you think this 3-4-3 or a 3-4-1-2 formation is the way to go, or we should switch back to like a back four?
I think the way Tuchel approaches it is dependent on the opponent, right?
Okay.
I think recently we've been going more for the 3-4-1-2 because Mount's been doing pretty well. And we have Timo Werner, we have Giroud, we have Tammy Abraham as our strikers. He also played Hudson-Odoi there, I think, as a striker in one game. He might throw on Pulisic there as well. But it really depends on the opponent. I actually like the 3-4-1-2 because I think that gets the best out of Mason Mount. Like you said, he links up play with our wingbacks, Hudson-Odoi and Alonso, and just our entire attack pretty much runs through Mason Mount in that formation.
Yeah. I think off the ball we are more like a back five, and then when you're like on the ball, it's kind of transitions to a 4-2-3-1. Like Aspie kind of drifts to that right back position, and then Hudson they pushes higher up. So I don't know. I feel like Alonso, even though he's been performing well, I just see no reason for Chilwell to get dropped. I mean, I know his form was kind of bad, but I feel like besides like his finishing ability, I feel like Chilwell is the better player. He's got the better pace. He's better on the ball, better crossing. So I feel like at one point, Chilwell and especially Rich James, I got his name on the back. He should get into the pitch too, and I think he deserves to play.
Yeah, I think Alonso has been doing pretty well since Tuchel arrived, and he's given him that chance to impress Tuchel, right? I think we all know that in the 3-4-3, Marcos Alonso is probably the best left wing back choice as of now, right? But if you take a look at it, I guess a little bit more long term, he is almost edging on 30, I think.
He's 30.
And Chilwell, he is 30. Wow. Well, Chilwell's probably like 5 or 6 years younger than him, right? So for the long term future, I can see Chilwell developing into our left wing back or just left back. However, Tuchel might change the system. But yeah, I think we just need to give time for Chile to adapt to that left wing back role and just learn from Marcos Alonso.
Yeah, you're right. The other players that I want to talk about is the revival of Rudiger. I mean, he was kind of dropped and removed from the squad since Tuchel came in. Obviously, we know that PSG was interested in him, and he's been doing well. His on the ball abilities are very good. We cannot take it away, and we know like he has those lapses of concentration. He just for defending, but on the ball he's very good. His long distance passing is very good. His passes in between the lines are very good. So what do you think of him, Rudiger?
Yeah, I think it's kind of tough because there's been a lot of stories circulating and like rumors here and there, and we don't even know if it's true or not, right? But I think one game that comes to mind is that Barnsley game. He conceded the first goal into Thomas Tuchel, and it was an own goal. But after that, the way he responded and the way he reacted to conceding an own goal, right? He put in a fair number of good blocks afterwards, and I think he deserves his spot. Although I do think that Zuma was probably our second best defender behind Thiago Silva earlier in the season. Right now, I think Rudiger deserves to keep his place.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Thiago Silva, he's been injured. I mean, he's 36, but wow, man, this guy's a world class defender. He's like in the bracket of your Sergio Ramoses, your Chiellini's, your Piqués. And like a lot of people like maybe got him in the beginning of the season. They were like criticizing like our board, like why are you signing a 36-year-old? He's like finished. But I mean, he proved us wrong. Besides that first game he played against West Brom, but overall he's been a superb signing for free too. I mean, wow, great job for the board.
Definitely.
Now we're gonna go in front of the defenders, and we got Georgina and Kovacic. Obviously, they were kind of out of favor under Lampard, but they're starting to get their momentum back, just like last season when they were playing together. What do you think? What's the reason that they're performing better?
I think Georgina and Kovacic, we know from last season that they work well together in a pivot, and somehow Thomas Tuchel has revived that sort of pivot. I think Kovacic probably has been a bit better than Jorginho. Jorginho does score a lot of penalties that Timo Werner wins, but I really like seeing Kovacic play. The way he carries the ball forward, he tracks back, he tackles, he spreads the play wide to our fullbacks or wingbacks. I'm really excited. I think yesterday was probably a really good performance, one of his best of the season, and it shows why he was our player of the season last year, right?
Yep, 100% agreed. And I've been like a big what's it called? A big, I guess, critic of like Kovacic like since last season. So I felt like if you were gonna go with a 4-3-3, I just didn't see him playing in that any of the roles. He didn't suit as a DM, and he's just not really a good number 8. And I feel like if you were gonna get the best out of Kovacic, it has to be like in a pivot. And we know like him and Jorginho are not the best defensive players. Like they're good at tackling, but like they're not really good at covering the runners and covering the spaces. So I felt like when you're going with a back three, it gives them like an extra, like extra defender, to help them out. And I think that's been a very important part of them for like their revival of their form. And I think at one point we have to get Conte back. I think Jorginho, I know he's a good leader, but I think the quality of Conte cannot be dismissed, man.
Yeah, definitely agree. I think right now, Djokovic, as they're known, is a way to go. But yeah, if you think about it, we're going to face Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. If we progress, we're just going to face tougher opponents. And I think it's only a matter of time until Conte is fully fit, or I mean, fully back in form, the
Yeah.
way we know Conte how he is, right? Because I think recently he hasn't been doing that well, mostly mainly due to his recent injury, I feel. But it's a matter of time when Conte gets back in the squad. Like you said, we can't keep his quality out of the squad. He's the world's best defensive midfielder, right? Um,
Yeah.
he doesn't deserve to be on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to have like a good chance to beat Atletico, we have to have like our best players in the like in the 11, and I think Conte has to be there because realistically, if you want to be like Atletico, they got like fast players. They're very good physically, very good with their shape, and the game that kind of remind me that like I feel like Georgina and Kovacic are perfectly fine for like a Premier League top four like team. But I feel like if you really wanted to compete with the best of the best in Europe, they're not really there. I feel like the game against Bayern
Mm,
last year, remember that we were exactly playing the 3-4-3, and
yeah.
Jorginho and Kovacic were in that midfield. They got bossed by Thiago and Kimmich. That showed me like there is like a levels to this stuff. And
Mhm.
I've been a big, I don't know, I know it's gonna be pretty funny, but like I've been a big advocate of like Loftus-Cheek. I feel like his physical qualities, he's very underrated. I feel like remember, I don't know if you watched the Maurizio Sarri season. Him
Yeah.
and Hazard were basically carrying us, to the top four finish. And I feel like if he comes back to the Chelsea, I think he might have a shout to, maybe even start. I don't know.
Yeah, I really remember that season against under Maurizio Sarri. I think he was probably our second best attacker behind Hazard or
Yeah.
Giroud, actually, maybe second or third, right? But after that, I think was it an ACL injury in that
Yeah.
friendly game? He just hasn't been the same. It's so sad. Like, yeah, I was really I had high hopes for him. Um,
Yeah. It was really sad.
yeah,
I remember like
yeah,
his dribbling is kind of similar to Kovacic, but he had because like he had a bigger
hmm,
frame, it was just a little bit more like
yeah,
I guess like a slower animations, I guess. I feel like he's like a better finisher than Kovacic. Kovacic is like a deeper player, to be fair. I feel like
definitely,
Loftus-Cheek is like
yeah,
the better attacker. But I feel like the future of like at
mhm.
least the modern type of football is like a 4-3-3 or like a 4-2-3-1, and I feel like Loftus-Cheek could fit into that roles. And yeah, back to Georgina and Kovacic. I kind of got off topic. I love Loftus-Cheek. So, but yeah. So do you think Kovacic? Do you think that he can be like part of our starting team to win the title, or you think he's just gonna be like a squad player if you want to win the title?
I think we have to figure out and see if Kante and Kovacic works. I know we've tried it before, but now we're under Thomas Tuchel with new sort of a new system, new I guess tactical insight, and we just have to see if them two as a pair will work. And if not, I think we have to consider maybe recalling, like you said, recalling Loftus Cheek or Ross Barkley, or we still have Billy Gilmore, we have Conor Gallagher, we have a lot of other of these options, right? We can recall, or we might have to look and buy someone else, but that might also mean selling maybe like a Jorginho or
Yeah,
selling our loanees.
I feel like the player that we haven't replaced is Nemanja Matic. I feel like him and Kante, he was basically that holding midfielder, and Kante was the guy, was just running around and doing everything. And I think since then we haven't had that guy. I mean, Jorginho, I guess he fits in that role, a holding midfielder, but he doesn't really have the qualities of Nemanja Matic. He's nowhere near the physical guy. He's not. He's pretty much way slower than Matic, and I feel like he's passing. I feel like Matic was a very underrated passer too. So I feel like
Yeah.
this summer we kind of have to get a defensive midfielder. I mean, we were interested in Declan Rice, but at the moment the board doesn't want to buy him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying how Declan Rice is overpriced, overvalued. I like, actually, now that we're on topic of that, I really like Thomas Souček, but
Hmm.
I don't see Chelsea going in for him. I guess to your point of Nemanja Matic, yeah, I think I really miss him because of his height, and I agree with you. He was a very underrated passer. I think maybe someone who fits sort of that same mold is the Lazio player Sergey Milenkovic-Savic.
Yeah,
He's, I think, been touted as one of the best young prospects in Europe for like a few years now, but I don't think anyone has signed him up.
yeah. I think he's like a Loftus-Cheek kind of guy. He's not really a deep player. He's not a defensive minded player.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he can play in a midfield pivot, but not in like in a DM position.
Mm.
Yeah, I think the DM position has been a big problem for us, like especially when Conte gets injured, we don't really have anyone to play in that position. And Conte, he's not even a natural, holding midfielder. He's like more of a box to box midfielder, not in the like more like a defensive box to box. I don't know how to say it, but he's like, how Mauricio played him in that right CM position. I feel like that's his
Mm-hmm.
best position. Like, he can do whatever he wants, help the defensive midfielder and also help the attack and help the press. I think that's the best role for him.
Mm. Yeah, I think he works best in a pivot, just like in Leicester. He had Danny Drinkwater with him. When we won the league in 2017, he had Nemanja Matic beside him. I don't think he really works that well as a lone DM. I think a great example of a great lone DM is Wilfred Ndidi
Mhm.
at Leicester. But
Yeah, and Didi is a very good player defensively. I mean, his numbers have been crazy. He's been like one of the only guys who's been like very comparable to Conte, like in the defensive statistics, like tackles and interceptions and recoveries. But I feel like again, Ndidi is not really a complete passer on the ball. I feel like there is a reason that he's still in Leicester. I feel like his on the ball qualities are still, they need a bit more improvement in order to become like a top class DM.
yeah, but I think he does the job really well. His
Yeah,
job
yeah,
is to
100%.
defend.
100%. I feel like maybe the reason that I've been advocating for Declan Rice is that his on the ball qualities are better than Ndidi. I feel like his passing, his long range passing, is very good. With his like both feet. And remember the example of like Ndidi losing the ball. I don't know if you remember last year Mason Mount. He kind of
Mm-hmm.
pressed him
Yeah.
and he got the ball. I feel like he needs improvement in that aspect.
Mm.
Yeah, so bro, we talked about the Jovacic. Now let's go to the struggles, of Kai Havertz and Hakim Ziyech. Two ballers that when they came to Chelsea, we were like, wow, we're gonna win the Champions League, we're gonna win the Premier League. We were very excited, but quickly, like a couple of weeks or even a couple of months after that, we got humbled. Like their statistics are nowhere near that what they used to be, and their form is not even there, and they've been injured.
Yeah, it's been a rough start, I think, for a lot of our signings, except maybe Chilwell, Mendy, and Thiago Silva. But for our attackers, right, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, I think they've had it a bit tough. Yeah, with injuries, like you said, Havertz had COVID-19 and he recovered, but apparently he was pretty hard hit by it. And I think Hakim Ziyech has just been struggling with a lot of hamstring issues. Um, but I think the other day he came out and said, "You haven't seen the best of Ziyech, right?" He came out
Yeah.
and said that about himself. So that's a bit. I like to see that. He's confident in his own abilities. Right now, he's not getting the game time that he wants, but I really think that Thomas Tuchel will find a way to suit him into our system. And with Kai Havertz, I think our first game he played him in sort of an attacking left striker role. I'm not exactly so
Yeah,
sure, but he was definitely more attacking under Tuchel than Lampard.
yeah,
But yeah, I think we just need to give them more time. It's really the next season that counts.
100%. I think they've been struggling with the Premier League in the sense of like a physical and aspect. It's kind of very hard, like physical, strong, and it's very fast paced. Like I feel like in Netherlands and especially in Bundesliga, the game is nowhere near fast paced as like Premier League. Like you can take your time on the ball, just look around look for a pass. But I feel like Premier League, it's just 1 second you turn and you already lost the ball. That opponent is
Yeah.
already having a counter attack. So I feel like it's hopefully they're gonna adapt to it. I feel like the recent rumors, I don't know if you heard about it, like apparently AC Milan and the Juventus are monitoring Hakim Ziyech. So I don't know, like there are like a couple of guys that we've been looking for, especially in the attacking roles. Like Sancho, like who else? I think we've been looking to who was this right winger? I forgot. Usman Dembele. I don't know why are we looking at him. He's like another injury prone guy. But I think I don't know. I feel like if Ziyech kind of doesn't perform, we might cash in on him. I feel like he's in an age that like he's 28. He's not old, but I feel like if we get our money back, I guess the board is gonna have he's gonna be happy if he doesn't perform.
Yeah, I saw those rumors saying that Ziyech wants to leave
Yeah,
or he's unhappy and stuff, and I didn't really believe it, and I still don't think I believe it because he's just arrived,
yeah,
like not even 1 year yet.
yeah,
um, so it's pretty crazy to think that he could already be leaving. We've only seen him play like a handful of times when he's fully fit, so I don't think I can see him leaving.
yeah. I feel like we should give them like another season. I feel like I feel like Havertz. I've seen enough to believe that he's going to be a successful player in Premier League. I feel like if he kind of gets stronger and gets used to his body and trains his upper body strength, I think he should be good. And Ziyech, he was actually good in the first couple of games. Remember like against Burnley, Sheffield United. He was very
Hmm.
involved with the play, creating a lot of chances. I don't know what happened to him. I feel like it's probably the injuries hindering his progress. I think if Tuchel knows how to get the best out of them, I don't think there's gonna be any issues with them. So I think it's just a matter of time.
Hmm. Yeah.
Overall, for the final part, I guess we're gonna go straight to the transfers. My favorite part. I love like talking about transfers. The outgoings and
Hmm.
the incoming players. So name me 5 players that you think they're gonna get sold, or you think they should get sold.
5 players.
Yeah,
Does this include our loanies? Like
yeah, you can name them.
5 players.
Bakayoko. We got a lot of players, bro.
Yeah, I think I think Giroud will leave by the end of the season.
Yeah,
I think that's just his own decision, and that's okay. He's been great for us. I would want him to stay, but I think he's gonna leave on his terms, or I
yeah.
think he only signed a 1 year extension, right? So he might want to go if he's not getting enough game time. I think Ross Barkley will get sold. I don't see him coming back to Chelsea and earning a place.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Bakayoko. I thought he was already sold,
No,
or
he's not.
I'm not actually so sure. I guess he's still loaned out. Maybe either one of Emerson or Alonso. Right now, it seems like we're leaning more towards Emerson because the last time he played, he was playing as a left-sided center back. We
Yeah.
already have a load of center backs. Um, and Tamori, I don't want to sell him, but if that buyback clause that AC Milan have is triggered, then I'd be sad to see him go because I don't think we
Yeah.
should have let him go out on loan in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So there's the 5. I guess if we don't sell tomorrow and we get to keep him, another player I would think might get sold is Jorginho.
Hmm.
Maybe due to age, due to the fact that we have Kante, we have Billy Gilmore, we still have loads of these midfielders. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me personally, I think like Kepa should go. I think we should sell him for like 25, 30 million. I think the board has to take the L on it. He's kind of basically hindering, Edward Mendy. I think Edward Mendy has been 8 out of 10, this season. I think he hasn't had any big issues. So I think for me, Kepa kind of has to go. I mean, he's been given enough chances. I think at one point again, I feel like I don't want to be like, I don't know. I feel like his mentality, I don't know. Like in the box, he's not really vocal and he's not really
Mhm.
demanding of his defenders. I feel like that's something that comes with a natural, or maybe with experience. Maybe we should loan him out for like a 2-year loan deal. But I think, yeah, if we get the right
Mhm.
offer, we should cash in. The defenders, I think one of Christensen, Zuma, and Rudiger, they're gonna get sold this summer, 100%. I don't think like we're gonna keep them because realistically, Thiago Silva is gonna
True.
sign that extension. Aspi, I don't think he's gonna leave. He's the club captain, so he's gonna stay probably.
Mhm.
Another defender that I really want to see at Chelsea is Mark Wahey from Swansea. I want to really see like him coming back. I think he's very good. I don't know if you remember last year's game in the Carabao Cup, him and Zuma, they had a very good partnership. And I think they played against Man
Uh,
United too, in the Carabao Cup. And yeah, I think he's a very mature defender for like his age. Hopefully, maybe he's gonna get a chance from Tuchel to to perform in the preseason. As you said in the midfield, Jorginho is like another guy. Like I feel like he's a niche type of player. Like he should play in a specific system, to get the best out of him. The
mhm.
Mauricio Sarri system and stuff. So I think if hopefully Sarri gets a job, so we can sell Jorginho. And yeah, as I said before, like Matic, we haven't replaced him, so I just want to DM.
Mhm.
Attackers, Giroud is gonna leave. Maybe I don't know, man. I think we've been linked to Sancho too. So I feel like maybe we might sell Pulisic or maybe we might sell ZH. Like I feel like the board wants like another big signing. So I don't know. So what about incoming transfers?
Yeah, I guess before I get into that, sorry,
Yeah,
I think with Pulisic, I don't think the board's gonna want to sell Pulisic
yeah,
because he's American. Like,
yeah, yeah,
you know how much revenue and just fans across America that he helps generate for the club,
yeah, yeah.
right? Fans like us, we're both Americans. Um, I don't think the board will want to sell
Yeah, that's in the
Pulisic in the
business
near
sense. Yeah,
future.
in the business sense, yeah. But I'm talking about like his injuries are crazy. Like if you look at his injury record, it's pretty bad. And I think I personally I would 100% keep him, but I don't know. Like maybe the board has other plans. Um, but yeah, who are you gonna bring in? Like
Yeah.
5 transfers? Like you think that they should happen?
Five. I feel
Actually,
like
first
five is
name the
yeah.
positions that you think need improvements,
Mm.
or at least depth.
I think we need, like you said, maybe a DM or some sort of midfielder to cover, yeah, Jorginho's spot or just fill up the squad. We also need, I think, a center back. If we're going to keep playing this 3-4-3, we want a probably potentially a world class center back that
100%.
could replace Rudiger and could eventually fill or I guess fit that Thiago Silva leadership mold. Um, I think attackers, we have so many attackers. Like I feel like we're set, but if you've heard the rumors, we might be going in for Erling Haaland. I
Yeah,
don't know
100%.
how true or realistic that target is, considering we've already spent so much money on attackers. Um, I think our fullback spots are pretty much set. We've got Reece and Chile, and we have Hudson Odoi and Alonso who can also play as our wing backs now. Um, but yeah, I would say those, I guess, a DM and then a world class center back. I think those two are main targets. I think everything else is pretty much secondary in terms of maybe getting Holland. I don't know how likely that is, but
Yeah. I don't know if you know that Tammy still hasn't signed this contract extension. So maybe if he kind of, if he doesn't really want to sell, I mean, sign his contract and maybe technically, I think next year his contract ends. So if you're gonna like, extend his contract, it has to be this year. So if he doesn't and he wants to leave, I guess Holland is the automatic replacement.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's gonna be crazy if Tammy leaves. I hope he stays. Like we already saw, like this a lot of top players leaving Chelsea. Salah, De Bruyne, Lukaku. All these guys that we saw
Mhm.
eventually turn into like world beaters. I hope Tomori and Abraham don't become like one of these players. But yeah, I think, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah. I guess we're in terms of like names. Uh, Upamecano, I think he's going to Bayern Munich,
Yes.
unfortunately, but that's I think a central defender we could look at, or his partner Ibrahim Konate. I think they're
Hmm.
both from Leipzig. They're both very good. I think they're both French,
Yeah.
um, so it would work perfectly well with Thiago Silva, Zuma, and I guess our overall communication of the squad. We have a lot of French players, but yeah, I think those two center backs and a DM, like you said, there is Declan Rice. He's a bit pricey.
Hmm.
Um, I can't think of many other alternatives, but I don't know what do you have a Declan Rice alternative?
Um, yeah, I think I don't know if you know Dennis Zakaria from Mönchengladbach.
Oh,
He,
yeah.
he's been playing in center back and DM, so I think he can be like a very versatile player. Regarding the center back position, I think I want to see like an experienced player. I feel like we have too many young players. Like Christensen is not even that old. We got Wahey. We still have tomorrow if we don't sell him. We got that Mboyamba guy. We got him in the summer. There are like a
Mhm.
couple of guys in the academy too, like Daniel Simeu. Like I don't know if you know him. He's like in the U20. I think he's like in one of the academy teams. I'm pretty sure he's like 18 or 19. Yeah, I think we're stuck in the center back position as like young prospects. Like we still have Ampadu,
Mhm.
and I think we should go like look for like an experienced player. That's why I think we should go get Varane. I think I don't know if you've seen like he's been saying like he wants like new challenges. And to be honest, bro, he's like he was like when he was like 25 or 26, he already won all of the trophies. He won the Club World Cup, UCL, everything
Mhm.
there is in the game. So I think if I was him, I would look for like a new challenge. And I think his price is not even that high. I think he's like around 50, 60 million. And for a world class defender of his quality, I think he's like a no brainer to get.
Mm. Yeah, I think yeah, like you said, he's won everything. He's still relatively young, but more experienced because he has won all these trophies. Had that experience. He's played with Sergio Ramos. He's played with Pepe. Yeah, I haven't seen anyone or any links to Chelsea, but that would be a
Yeah.
good shout.
We were kind of linked to Jimenez last summer, but he had like 110 million release clause, I think, which like kind of put
Wow.
us off.
Mm,
Uh, what else? I think yeah, we've been linked to David Alaba, I think, but he's I guess linked
yeah.
to Real Madrid. His wages
Hmm.
are like too crazy. He wants like 400K per week, which is
Wow.
mind blowing. But to be fair, he's like a free transfer, so I guess maybe he has the right to demand that kind of a wage. What kind of others? I think yeah, Konate, he's a good prospect. Defensive midfielder, yeah. Besides Zakaria, I don't really know that many defensive midfielders that we should get. Maybe what's that guy's name? Basuma from Brighton.
Oh.
He's a good
Mm.
player. Maybe we should look at him. Or who's this guy in Juventus? I don't think it's gonna be stupid if they sell him, but Ben Tanker, he's a very good player. I like him. It's a little bit of dream signings, I guess. It's not really realistic. Yeah, and then striker Holland. I think if Tammy decides to leave and he doesn't really see his future at Chelsea, maybe we should go for like another world class striker. Because apparently, the board was kind of not the board, but like the statistic and the scouting department, they were kind of like surprised at the amount of chances we create. Our finishing is not hasn't been there. We should score way more goals. We should kind of get closer to our expected goals, but we are
Mhm.
nowhere near like close to that. And yeah, guys. So to wrap up this, bro, what do you think is gonna be our achievements this season? Like our Premier League table, rankings, and then Champions League predictions too.
I think
Yeah.
ideal goal for Thomas Tuchel right now is just to get top four. I think
Hmm.
that's was why he came in as a manager, top
Fourth.
four.
So you're saying he's gonna get fourth or third, maybe second.
Mm, I want to say fourth just to be safe. I think
Hmm.
third is. I think Leicester might get third potentially, or Liverpool. I don't know. There's so many teams that could
Yeah.
compete for top four spots. I think a good FA Cup run would be maybe go to the final and try to win, just like last year.
Yeah.
And then for Champions League, I want to get past Atletico, but I don't know. That's going to be a tricky task. And even if we get past Atletico, we might face I don't know someone even better, right? So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
gonna be a tough challenge.
the main thing is just UCL qualification for next season. And then Tuchel will have a full 12 months. Well, hopefully, assuming he's not sacked.
Yeah.
Just to improve and build upon what he's building in this rest of the season for right now. Yeah.
100%. I think, to be honest, I don't know what's gonna happen to Tuchel if he doesn't get top four. I feel like the board, that's why they gave him like a short contract. They want to see what he's gonna do. So I feel like I mean, he's been impressed. He impressed me so far. So I feel like if he gets the top four, he deserves to stay. But I feel like if he doesn't, the board is like very, based on the results, and they just want trophies and stuff. So I feel like actually their main manager that they wanted after Lampard got sacked was Julian Nagelsmann. So I don't know. I feel like if Tuchel doesn't get top four, maybe we're gonna look at him. But as of right now, Tuchel is staying. So yeah, my prediction is I feel like I would say third. I think United is gonna drop probably a little bit lower. Leicester, I just don't see them keeping this consistent form as last year. They kind of dropped out of the top four after February. And yeah, I think Champions League, I'm gonna say like a semi-final. I'm a very optimistic fan. I feel like we're gonna grind out the results and go to like a semi-final, which is gonna be a big improvement. And yeah, bro, thank you for joining. It was very fun and interesting to talk to you. I just want to like get a lot of like American Chelsea fans on my channel. There isn't that many,
Sure.
but yeah, what are your final thoughts? Like what closing words?
Well,
Say whatever you
thanks
want,
for
man.
having me on, Aaron.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Again, thanks for having me on. I think
Yeah, no problem.
it's great to have or meet other people within the same space and just form connections, form friendships, right? Because we all enjoy, either Chelsea or we just like watching the games.
Yeah.
There's UCL games today. I don't know if you're watching, but yeah, I just enjoyed doing this, and I hope and I wish you all the best. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We are living in LA, so we're not going to really have any problems with the time zones if we want to do like other episodes next time, like together. Yeah, bro, it was great to have you. Hopefully, you're gonna enjoy your day. Make sure to check his Instagram. I'm gonna put his link down below, so yeah, go check his account out. And yeah, guys, I think that was it. And see you later for the next video. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.